community of Dalits in Nelamangala in Karnataka were brutally assaulted and harassed after they refused to participate in a discriminatory practice in the village. Over 40 people entered their homes of the members of the scheduled caste people, dragged them out of the house to the road and beat them up with iron rods and sticks. The incident took place on the evening of September 8. 9 people have been hospitalized. While 2 of the accused have been arrested, the cops are on the lookout for the others. Let me go across to my colleague Neha Bale. She's joining us live with further updates on this. Neha, extremely shocking incident that is coming to light of a community, the Dalit community there being attacked in Karnataka. Can you take us through the details and what is the kind of action that has now been taken? How many people were involved?
Well, really most unfortunate coming to light over here in Karnataka. This just again highlights the plight of, the Dalit community over here in the state of Karnataka. We've seen discrimination, harassment in the past, but this time around, this was brutal. This was just an attack. This was violent. As many as 9 people have been hospitalized already, and as many as, of course, about 10 people have been named in an FIR. Of the accused, about 2 of them have been arrested already. Let's quickly get down to the details of what happened and why this why this attack on the Dalit community. Now, there is a practice that's followed in many parts of Karnataka where, the Dalits are used for demeaning work such as digging up holes for the burial of certain people of the upper caste. And in this particular case, that's exactly what's happened. Now, this is a practice that has been in place for many decades together. And while, of course, some members of the Vokkaliga community, which is a slightly upper caste, relatively when compared to the scheduled caste, they were, they of course approached members of the scheduled caste. They approached these Dalits to dig up the hole, for the burial of one of the family members. And these Dalits have really stood up for themselves. For the first time, they've staged a protest. They've carried out an awareness campaign in that particular village and said that they've had enough. They've put their foot down, that they would not stoop to this demeaning work and do this demeaning work. And later in the evening on that very day, you have about 30 members of the Vokkaliga community that have just come down, assaulted these members of the scheduled caste, dragged them out of the house, holding them by the hair, thrown them onto the streets and beaten them up black and blue. Now, that apart, you also have the women of, these scheduled caste tribes that were thrown into the sewage and they were beaten up as well. Just absolute assault over here in, Nelamangala in Karnataka, which is, of course, on the outskirts of Bengaluru. Now, also what we're given to understand is that the cops have swung into action. They've arrested just 2 of the many accused in the FIR. 9 people have been hospitalized with injuries. They were beaten up with iron rods and wooden logs as well. Really unfortunate. It just makes one wonder what it's going to take for this casteism to be wiped out of the state entirely. Because, this is something that has been happening on almost a very regular basis. We've been bringing you instances of harassment of of course discrimination against members of the lower caste.
Absolutely horrific details there, Neha, as you're pointing out. And we hope that the police who have registered an FIR in this case, so far only 2 people have been arrested. We hope that they manage to arrest the others who are found guilty in this case. For the moment, Neha, many thanks for joining us with those updates.